Intuitive Anthony. Figured I'd go live today. Still working on figuring out my next move. But I gotta figure that in the next 2 days. Uh, but I shall not worry because the Most High is gonna take care of it. The Most High is working on it. I'm just making sure I keep my mind and my options open and being open to whatever changes the Most High wants to bring in. That's how you do it. But we're gonna be talking about energy vampires and their attempts to glamour you again, because we all know that the narcissist is the energy vampire. We know that. They feed off of your emotional reactions. What they want to do is stress you out, drain your energy, and use that to fuel their evil hearts. That's what it is. That's what it is. They want to stress you out. They want to send you through a whole slew of emotions. And with all that stress and confusion that you're experiencing, they eat that shit up. They lap that shit up like a cat drinking milk. I just watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I watched a few people react to it. What's going on? What's going on, young? Mel, what's going on? Appreciate you being here. This is what it comes down to. So we're going to be talking about the energy vampire, the narcissist, the karmic, and their attempts to glamour you. Because they know you see them. They know you see them. They know you know who they are. They know spiritually you are well aware of who they are, who they serve, and what they do, what their whole purpose is, what they're put here on this earth for. You know that they are not of the Most High. They're evil. Give me 1 second and put some more tea in my cup, and we'll get started, guys. Oh no, I'm out of tea. I gotta make tea after the live. I gotta make some more tea afterwards. No big thing. See what I'm talking about? It keeps jumping. My phone just jumps. So, that's just the enemy. Chill out. That's just the airplane going by, baby. That's all that is. But that's what we're going to be talking about, the energy vampires. See, because when my phone jumps like that, and it jumps from one screen to the other, that means I'm getting ready to drop something spiritually from the Most High. And the enemy is trying to stress me out, trying to mess up a good thing. That's exactly what the narcissist does. That's what they want to do to you. They want to keep you in such a rattled state that you get frustrated, anxious. And the narcissist, the energy vampire, feeds off of that. They lap that shit up like a cat drinking milk. They lap it up. But we're going to talk about this today. Guys, if you're not a member, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you as a part of the Chosen One family, the Blessed and Chosen family. And also hit the notification bell. When you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when new content comes available. So that when I post up a post about me going live like I did a couple hours ago, you'll be able to clear time in your schedule if you have time to come and join the live. We love having you here, guys. If you like and enjoy Chosen One content, hit the thumbs up, hit that like button. It doesn't cost anything, and it sends it up in the algorithm, which in turn gets YouTube to recommend it in more places so that we can wake up more of our chosen brothers and sisters. So hit that like button. It doesn't cost anything. If you can contribute and you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, Cash App is $Intuitive Anthony. That's $Intuitive Anthony, all one word. PayPal, Intuitive Anthony 1978. Intuitive Anthony 1978. That's PayPal. And Venmo is Antony, Antony -Young, YOUNG -1. But we're getting ready to go ahead and get into this. I just reported your channel. I just reported your little channel. For what? Telling the truth? You see, they don't like the truth. They don't like the truth. Yeah, and thank you, young Jock. They won't ever be able to come back. See, they have nothing but time on their hands. They reported my channel. For what? Telling the truth? See, because there's a lot of haters. They hate us. They hate us because you have a purpose. They have nothing. They don't have any purpose. They have nowhere to be. They have no value. They have no value. Which is why they got time to worry about what everybody else is doing instead of taking care of the business that pays them. Because they don't work for shit. They'd rather steal. They'd rather do something underhanded, wicked, and deceitful to get theirs. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. Nothing that's going to bring any enjoyment, positivity, or love, or life into anybody's life. They constantly destroy everything they touch. Which is important why we should hit the like button, guys. Because the more we can get this information out, the more we can get good people away from bad ones. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Energy vampires will attempt to glamour you. They will attempt to glamour you. Because you see who the hell they are. You know who they are. You know that they're horrible individuals. Samantha, what's going on? What's going on? Good to see you. They will attempt to try to, in fairy tales, they call it lull you back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? They want to Pied Piper you back off to dreamland. Because they know you see them for who and what the fuck they really are. Walking garbage. Walking garbage. I'm going to try to make an active effort to clean up my language. But I think that dealing with the subject matter that we have, if they can't deal with a few swear words, then they're not strong enough to understand what we're talking about anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're not strong enough to go through half the stuff we went through. So if they can't handle a few curse words, they're too weak to be on this channel anyway. But they reported my channel for what? Speaking truth. You see what I'm saying? They don't like the fact that the truth about them is out there. Which lets you know that God is separating the wheat from the tares. And most of the time, these are people who obviously know you, but you don't know them. Because there's nothing redeemable, nothing noteworthy about these people. They're like vampires. They're watching you and everyone else who has life in their blood. You know how the Bible says, do not consume blood because the life is in the blood? That's what they want from you, which is why they try to stress you out. They want to get that energy. They want to get that. They want to get your life, your essence, your emotion into your blood so they can try to feed off of you, so they can try to drain it from you. That's what it comes down to. Once you discover and expose a vampire, they will, you know, they're going to continue to do their dark spells. Witch talk is very big on that. Witch talk, it's all witchcraft. Most of the people on TikTok are narcissists. Not all of them, but there's a lot of narcissists on there. And there's a lot of people who know that there is a lot of narcissism going on TikTok. Because most of them they don't have a long attention span. Because they're trying to do so much evil. And they have such a short window of time left to do it. They have such a short window of time that they're chaotic. They're always chaotic. Because anything to keep their mind off the fact that they're going to burn in hell for what they've done. So they're going to constantly be going whichever way the wind blows. And they're going to be trying to cause mayhem and destruction and misery everywhere they go. That's why when people have block parties or have parties, they have to be very, very careful about who comes in as a person's plus one. Because nobody ever invites these fucking losers to a party. Nobody ever invites them to a party, to a get-together, to a cookout. They just show up. They just show up. They're there, but they're not wanted. They're like the bags of garbage you have to clean up after the cookout. Nobody wants them there. Nobody's valued that they're there, but it's something you have to clean up. So that's why they have people that have to get rid of these kind of people. That's what it comes down to. And what it is that once you discover and expose a vampire, you expose that narcissist, you expose that energy vampire for the blood-sucking leech that they are. They're going to try to continue to do spells to try to put you back to sleep. But with your awakening and with your discernment and with your new level, your new rise, certain privileges that the enemy has given them are also being snatched away from them. Because you ever notice that the narcissists can seem like they're getting away with cat shit murder? They're getting away with a lot of bad stuff. And as time goes on, people are not being fooled like they once were. They're not being fooled like they once were. People are starting to see that, you know, when they smile don't reach their eyes. They smiling like this. Their mouth is smiling, but their eyes are dead inside. That's because there's no soul in there. There's no soul in there. So they're going to continue to do spell work because they figure that they are the greatest and most powerful sorcerer. They think that their power puts them in the place or puts them in the same category as God, because you know they're ran by ego. They don't realize that as an empath, as a chosen one, you have powers too. I spoke about this in a short that I did yesterday. INFJ. Y'all look up the traits of an INFJ. This will give you a good idea of what your abilities and powers are. All they know is that they hate you. That's all they know, is that they can't stand you. But they don't realize the same luxuries and benefits that Satan has been affording them to do their wickedness, to do his work on this earth. The Most High is giving you abilities too. They don't believe in the Most High. They don't believe that anything or anyone is more powerful than they are. They actually believe that they are God. They have replaced God with an idol of themselves. And when you won't bow down and worship that idol, that's themselves, an image of themselves, a crafted image, a crafted statue of who they pretend to be, not who the fuck they really are, who they pretend to be. When you won't bow down and worship that, you become public enemy number one. But the same way the enemy has been allowing them to use certain privileges and benefits to bring his kingdom on earth, the Most High is giving you a set of gifts and abilities too. And as time goes on, your powers will get stronger and theirs will diminish. That's why they're forever tied to you. They're constantly watching you. My tooth is bothering me, guys. They're constantly watching you, keeping up with you. They can't get their eyes off of you. Because you, appreciate it, DCG. This is what it comes down to. They're constantly tied to you. Because as you come up, they go down. Remember, as they was dragging you down, they were up high. They were high on the hog. They were happy. Feeling like it was all a dream, that everything was great with them. But as you start going up, your powers get stronger. Your discernment gets stronger. Your wisdom is stronger. People start noticing the abilities and the gifts that you carry. And they start to go down. Now, all of a sudden, they're starting to pull out every heckle and jekyll and fleckle out of every corner of their wicked little community to come after you. Thinking that if enough people say enough bad things about you, it's going to scare you into silence. It's going to make you fear. Your fear is going to take over your faith. That's not how it works. We have never judged our worthiness by what the fuck other people thought about us. We could care less. Especially if they're friends with the narcissist. Especially if they're friends with the narcissist. Because birds of a feather tend to flock together. And if you hanging out with somebody that's a piece of shit, that has no moral character, that is human garbage in a body, then 9 times out of 10, the friends you hang out with have those same personality traits. So it really doesn't matter to us what the fuck they think. It doesn't. So they're gonna continue to do their spells. But the desired result of those spells are going to start to diminish over time. Because as your power grows, theirs weakens. And this is all leading to an inevitable place. But they figured you were going to be an easy one to beat. So when they were giving you that torment and you didn't fully understand your abilities and who you were in the kingdom and what you could do in the kingdom, they were high on the hog while you was down here at the bottom. As time goes on, your strength and discernment and power and abilities seem to grow and theirs seem to diminish. But this is also leading, like the same way you may have a rough start, but you're going to end on top. Or if you had a very, very big beginning, you're going to end on the bottom. That's why they heavily watch what you do. Because your destiny is directly tied to theirs. So as you're growing and getting more powerful in the spirit and in your strength, theirs is diminishing. And eventually, that same entity that they have been sending out of their spirit to go after you and attack you and make your life hell has nowhere to go, because you are fortified, protected in the Most High, which means that entity has to go back to where it came from. And that entity is going to get tired of going out on dummy missions, going after this person that seems to get stronger. Then that demon is going to start getting angry and attacking the person who's sending it. So people are going to start noticing that the narcissist is not who they used to be. They're starting to notice cracks and little telltale signs that everything ain't what it seems. People are going to start saying there's something wrong with this person. Before, you were the only one who saw it because they made sure to wear a mask in front of those other people, but they had no problem showing you who the fuck they really were. Yeah. They really did. They really did. So that demon's going to keep getting sent back, return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. And that demon is getting pissed because now that demon is being run back and forth on countless useless missions. And you know this demon is giving all that information to the enemy. And the enemy is going to say, you know what? They're more of a liability than an asset right now. And the more they keep trying to attack you, the more reckless they are getting. They're getting more reckless. People are starting to notice that this person ain't all right up here. And then that the enemy is going to decide, okay, this narcissist, this karmic, this energy vampire is more of a liability than an asset. Then the enemy is going to give that demon that's been coming after you full authorization to start tormenting the narcissist. Because now they got to get rid of the narcissist because they've been compromised. That narcissist has been compromised. Because their arrogance and ego won't let them fly under the radar. They're going to get more belligerent, more disrespectful, more out in the open. And they're not getting the desired result. So the enemy is going to be like, you know what? They're more of a liability than an asset. The enemy is going to tell that demon, okay, it's time for you to start. It's time for us to get rid of this one. Because they're no use to us. And the only thing they're doing is shining a light on the chosen one and making everything that the chosen ones say evident to everybody here on earth, which in turn is slowing down the enemy's kingdom. So that ability they had to pretend to be somebody else, to put spells on people, to have people thinking that they were Mother Teresa and you were this big bad crazy person who's unstable. It ain't looking that way no more. People are actually looking at this narcissist like there's something wrong with this person. And you know what else? That demon that they've been sending towards you has full authorization by the enemy himself to torment them, to get them in a prime situation so that they can have their souls snatched from this planet, because they are not bringing any souls to the enemy's kingdom, they're actually working in opposition to his kingdom. And now they're a liability, which means they have to go. Which means that that demon is going to be given, is that narcissist that has been sending that demon towards you, that narcissist is going to be given over to those entities. And those entities' whole goal is to destroy them because they're more of a problem than they're worth. So as you go up, they're going down. They know that. So they're going to pull out every stop they can, because once it gets too great, the enemy's going to have to cut his losses with them. And they're going to start getting worried. They're going to start praying to the Most High, and the Most High has already given them over to these entities. So their prayers are going to fall on deaf ears. And the fact of it is that you, chosen one, are not around them. So there's no spiritual protection for them. And everybody else who may have been duped by that person in the past starts to back up. Uh-oh, this isn't right. And as they back up, that demon that they used to send to harass you is going to start amping up his harassment of the narcissist. So now people that used to fuck with the narcissist ain't going to be rocking with them no more. And everybody going to be looking at them like, there's something quite wrong with this. Now what you were saying made you look crazy. Now people believe you. Now the light bulb is going off in a lot of people's head, which in turn is pulling people away from the enemy's kingdom. And this right here is a no-no for the enemy. No, because not only did you not do the job you were supposed to do by taking out that chosen one, now you allowing his words to look true and pulling people out of Satan's kingdom and bringing them to the Most High's kingdom. So that demon that they used to send after you is going to start amping up his harassment of the narcissist. And then all of a sudden, the narcissist is going to start looking more and more like Nebuchadnezzar. More like a beast of the field. More wild and crazy in their eyes. Because remember, when that narcissist used to attack you, when there was nobody around, you could see the wild, crazy beast that was inside of them. Why do you think they call the enemy the beast? That crazy eye, you used to see that they used to hide from everybody else. More people are starting to see it now. So this narcissist is going to start cracking. That mask is going to start cracking in very crucial places. Straight down the center. And people are going to be looking at them as seeing that something ain't on the up and up. This is what you have known all the time. But these people were under some kind of spell. They were under a glamour. A glamour by the narcissist. That's no longer working. And this changes the game. This changes the game altogether. So now the narcissist is more of a liability than an asset. Yeah. And the longer they starve, the more you starve the human body, the more it gets weaker and the more it starts to hallucinate. Because they're not feeding off of you. They can't feed off of nobody else because you have shined a light on their darkness, so other people ain't really wanting to stand next to the narcissist because they know that narcissist is a wolf. So not only is the narcissist getting weaker, you're getting stronger, but their bodies are starting to eat itself because they have no food. They have no sustenance because they can't feed off the chosen one anymore. And they're getting older, so they can't lure in fresh victims like they used to. Now without the help of a walker. And people don't readily, if you a woman and you 60 or 70 years old, or a man, and you alone, there's a reason. There's a reason. And people can tell a miserable soul. Christian. You see what I'm saying? And then they got the name Christian, but they're straight demons. You see what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. So they're mad and the enemy's just about had enough of them. The enemy's just about had enough of them and their tomfoolery and their fucking antics and their shenanigans. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's shenanigans. It's garbage. Everything from them, everything that comes from them is nonsensical. It makes no sense. They are no asset. And their mama probably sitting there thinking that they're a good child when they're human garbage, just like the mama is. Because the apple don't fall far from the tree. You got a rotten tree is giving off rotten fruit. The whole thing needs to be cut down like like Yeshua did with the fig tree. Cursed the fig tree, came back the next day and the tree was shriveled up and gone. That's what a lot needs to happen with a lot of narcissists and their children. But we're supposed to say all human life has value. Yes, if they choose to have value. But if they choose to be a problem of society, they should be dealt with accordingly. And the universe has a way of doing that. But the enemy is going to get rid of them because they're doing more harm to his kingdom than good. Guys, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not a member, hit the subscribe button so you'll become a part of the chosen one, the blessed and chosen family. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when new content comes up so that you can be here if you have the time to, go for a live or anything like that. That would be greatly appreciated. Hit the thumbs up if you hit the like button, the thumbs up. The more we get of those, the more YouTube will recommend it to other, in other places so that the word gets out. And if you can contribute, please do, guys. Cash App, $ Intuitive Anthony. All one word, Intuitive Anthony, $ Intuitive Anthony. PayPal is Intuitive Anthony 1978. Intuitive Anthony 1978. And Venmo, I'm sorry. Venmo is Antony, Antony -Young, YOUNG -1. Antony -Young -1. Oh yeah, guys, and the GoFundMe down below. If you can share that on your social media, I'm battling stage 4 cancer. That just helps get eyes and ears and out there on the struggle, and they can help if they want to. But just share that on your social media if you can, please. That GoFundMe that's down below in the links below. See, because they've always done spells, but as your power grows, their power weakens, and the things that they are trying to summon and create through the spell work and dark magic ain't working, and it's failing more than it's working now. And as time goes on, it will only get progressively worse for them, because that's why they're so interested in what's going on in your life. Because as you go up, they go down. Because when you were down, they were on the top of their game. Remember? Yeah, remember that? When they was giving you the business and running you ragged, their power was at an all-time high. Now that your discernment, your abilities, and your effectiveness, the way you communicate with people, the way that you can make people see certain things that they never noticed before starts to go up, theirs is starting to go down. And eventually, all chickens got to come home to roost. They just do. They just do. As you grow, as your power grows, theirs weaken. That's why they can never leave you for too long, because their destiny is tied to yours. Which is why they're going to always keep an eye on you. They will keep their distance. And they're going to try to pull their magic to try to put you back to sleep. They're going to try to come in. This is what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to come in and pretend like they're the sweetest, kindest person to make you think that you were wrong about how evil and wicked they really are. Like you completely forgot about all the evil fuck shit they've done in the past. Yeah. This is what they're going to try to do. This is what they're going to try to do. They're going to put on, all that is basically is them putting on another mask. Pretending to be somebody else. Because you know that they can pretend to be 9,000 people, but the real person inside of them is not like any of the other ones they portray. So they're going to pretend to be loving, caring, concerning, really interested in your life, really interested in how it's going. just so they can turn around and continue to do the same shit that they did before to you, to try to torture you like they did before. That's what it is. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to lull you back to sleep. Because I know a lot of chosen ones like me, I love like fairy tales and fables because of the lessons and the wisdom that's inside of them. Narcissists don't like wisdom. They don't like wisdom. They don't like wisdom. They don't like knowledge. They like wickedness. They love wickedness. You absolutely got to get away from them. But see, this is what it comes down to. So they're going to try to glamour you. That's what they call it, glamour. When basically they're trying to put a spell on you and make you think that you had it all wrong about them. You were wrong about them the entire time. They were actually a good person. And no, the fuck they were not. Your inclination and your thoughts about who they were as a person was completely right the entire time. They are, was, and always will be dog shit. But they're going to come in and try to pretend to be everything that they told you that they were going to be. But they're only doing this so that they can get close enough to you to attack you again. So they're going to pretend like you got it wrong about them. They were really just a sweet person. Or y'all just had a misunderstanding, or you caught them at a bad time in their life. That's why they were so angry, because they were unsatisfied and unhappy with where they were in life. They're going to try to give you every impression that your thoughts and feelings about them were wrong and that they were a good person the entire time. This is nothing more than another mask. This is nothing more than another mask. That's what it is. And at the same time, the more you give them access, the more information they're pulling up about you so that they can come back and attack you again. So do not even entertain this lie, this mask, this Halloween mask, this gesture shit that they got, court gesture shit that they got going on. Because they just want to get close enough to you so they can make you doubt yourself, so that in turn, when you are in a state of confusion and chaos and confusion, your power goes down and theirs goes back up. Now they're close enough to you to get the information out of your life that they need to come and attack you again. Do not fall for it. Because they're going to make you think that they were never that bad. You just had a miscommunication. It was all just a big mis-fucking understanding. It's always a misunderstanding. But it's always a misunderstanding on your end. Remember, they don't never do nothing wrong. Because they are not accountable for anything. It's just more of the same shit. But they're going to say, no, it's not. You didn't mean anything by it. It's just that I was in a bad place, so you were getting the wrong impression of me. Which puts the blame in your court. Not the fact that they acted like a horse's ass around you. It's always going to be your fault. They're going to find a way to gaslight you into making you think you read them wrong. You were the one who made a mistake. They ain't gonna apologize for the shit they did to make you feel that way. You know, it was your fault because you got the wrong impression. You see what I'm talking about? You see that madness, wisdom and knowledge, but they use it for the purpose of evil. Pure evil. That's what it is. They have corrupted their knowledge. Like Satan, he used his knowledge and he corrupted it because he is a liar and the father of lies. He corrupted his wisdom and his knowledge. That's the same thing they do with their intellect. They corrupted it because they are of their father, the devil. So the wisdom and knowledge that they have, they use it to do evil. That's who they are. That's exactly who they are. It's sick and it's sad, but as time goes on now, you're going to start seeing more and more people getting what the fuck they deserve. You're going to be like, damn, it seems like every 2 days somebody getting called out. Damn. Because this is the end right here. This is the end. So you're going to just see one thing after another. People getting exposed and shine the light on. And people who do dirt in the dark cannot stand the light. If you are a stand-up person and an authentic person, a chosen one who is who they are, they don't apologize for who they are who they are. They don't hide anything. If I was wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. Them, they want so hard for you to believe that everybody's interpretation of them is wrong. They misunderstood because it's everybody's fault but their own. If a person can't admit that they're wrong and say, I'm sorry, that person, the whole half of that person is completely gone. That means you're dealing with a human body, but inside of it is a demon. Because the demon ain't never wrong. That's why demons can't be, that's why angels, fallen angels can't be saved. Because they're not wrong. They were given complete wisdom and they chose to corrupt it. Which means they have the knowledge that is out there. They have the knowledge. They've actually looked at the face of the Most High and still chose to turn away. There's nothing else that they can see outside of the face of God that's going to ever make them change their ways. They are rotten through and through, and so are their children. Tell me I'm lying. They're going to make you think that there's something wrong with your perception of them. But it's nothing wrong with them. It's you and how you perceive them. Oh, they didn't. Oh, it's nothing wrong with them. It's something wrong with the way you perceive them, which is another way of saying you're wrong, I'm right. No accountability. What they want to do is get your defenses down. So they're going to come in and glamour you and pretend like they were. They're going to try to be everything that they told you were, that they were. They're going to try to be everybody that they promised you that they were, although you never saw it. They're going to be more considerate, more thankful, more genuine, more happy. They're going to pretend to be everything the fuck that they're not. Everything they're not, they're going to put on a big old show just for you. Just to get you close enough, just to get close enough to you so that your defenses are down so they can strike at your heart and hurt you. And hopefully try to finish you off. Because they still got a deadline to meet. But they can't fuck your shit up if they can't get close enough to you. So this is just another rebranding, another new mask to try to get in and finish off what they did. This is what it is. But don't fall for none of this. Don't fall for any of this, guys. This is what it is. Don't fall for any of this. You know, these losers and dogs have so much time to do all of that crazy shit instead of doing something that's beneficial to them and the ass of roach babies they got going on around here. All these roach babies running around here, babies, kids, just little fucking germs on the planet. They just have, it's like they just have a bunch of roach eggs and let them run out in the world. And then those roach eggs have more roach eggs and more roach eggs, and it keeps going like that. All right, guys, I wanted to come and do this live. Whether after the live, if you want to contribute to the channel, the information is down below. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified. In the next couple of days, I got to figure out what's next for me, because the situation here it'll be time to transition to another living situation or whatever's going to happen. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open. I got a message after I made some changes in my life. I got a message from a phone number I did not recognize. And it was a scripture from Jude in the Bible. But the day Lamont passed away, that morning I got a phone call and it said, God will provide, and the person hung up. That same night, Lamont died. So I keep my eyes and ears open because the Most High will let you know when He's moving in your life. You'll get those little things that come out of nowhere. That's the Most High letting you know that He's in control, and to put your faith in Him. Guys, whether after the live, if you want to contribute, Cash App, $ Intuitive Anthony. PayPal, Intuitive Anthony 1978. And Venmo is Antony-Young, YOUNG -1. And the GoFundMe that's down below, just share that on your social media, guys. But until I talk to you again, guys, if you like it, I love it. But these narcs out here, cold-blooded. Remember, correct your crown. And guys, it's almost over. Don't worry. They're getting ready to twerk in the fire of all the chaos and confusion they have caused on this planet. Is going to be theirs for an eternity. So keep your heads up, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.